I'm in the Tenderloin. That's where they're filming today. You might hear some of the sounds of the Tenderloin, and that's every day, all the time.
If I would have chosen my life to live differently, I probably would have picked a different neighborhood. But here I am, so I may as well bloom where I'm planted. You know what I mean? Like, why not do something fun and creative?
My name is Montague Pope LeBeau. I'm a artist, screenwriter, playwright, and poet, photographer, but I also have a cultural arts organization that specializes in showcasing artists and their expression and creating community benefits.
I'm Sylvester Slick Guard. I'm a community artist in the Tenderloin.
My name is Tan Sarinimas. I originally from Thailand. I am an artist working and living in the Tenderloin, San Francisco.
I'm CJNTL, so that's my name, Christine Johnson in Tenderloin.
Okay, well, hey, my name is Charles Blackwell. Who am I? Artist, writer, but other than that, I'm a person trying to exist in this place called America. And it's not an easy job. I carry a cane. I'm legally blind from an accident when I was 20 years old. And I almost lost my life, you know, but I'm here by the grace of God.
I mean, I was a high school dropout. I moved a lot. My life was somewhat tumultuous. But this means the world to me just because I had someone who was trying to claim they made my art. So this really has ownership for me, which is fantastic. Yeah, makes me very happy.
How could somebody say tried it with your art?
Because I married the wrong man. Luckily, we're divorced. But he was jealous. So he wanted to claim that he made my art.
I was in Berkeley, and I was in a horrible court battle, and basically wound up homeless, sleeping from couch to couch. What happened, I stumbled into this art space in Berkeley, Access Studios for the Disabled, and this guy, his name was Zach Pine. And he says, hey, why don't you come? You know, we have an art program for the disabled. And I said, okay. And I go over there, and next thing you know, I got turned on to the one in San Francisco.
Way back that I was not an artist, so I was living here as an immigrant. So I found Hospitality House Community Arts Program. That place provide me and also other locals to make art and use art as a tool for healing, and also using art as a tool for transformation, try to discover who we are.
I have an extensive record of criminality, and I'm not proud of it. I was homeless for a long time. I've had everything taken from me. I've been put in prison for things I didn't do. I've had trials happen to me. Any sort of abuse you could think of, it happened to me. So, you know, through all that, I could say the one thing I've had constant ownership of that I could control was my art. It was the one thing that didn't leave me behind. It was the one thing that was always there. If I didn't have a house, if I didn't have clothes, if I didn't have food, damn it, I had art.
You know, the Tenderloin has always been...
It is what it is. It's a force of nature.
It's a little gritty. It's kind of raw.
I mean, you're walking over bodies. You gotta. Me being probably blind, I'm trying to figure out. Don't want to step in no dog mess. Don't want to, you know. And I mean, and the sidewalks are full of, you know, day-old urine and whatever else you can think of, and you're trying to maneuver through that. And then you don't want to get in between somebody's drug deal on the street, you know.
Most of these people are abandoned. Most of these people are missing. Most of these people have mental issues. And if you talk to any one of them, they'll tell you, I'm from here, I'm from there. I've seen and talked to people who I've seen them just, they were left. It's really sad because...
You know, it's kind of like this. It's like, so capitalism is, you know, you got to build capitalism, right? Beat, pound, beat. You know, you got to keep the machine rolling. Beat, pound, beat. You know, and then you got to keep the factory going. You know, blang, blang, clang, bang, blang, 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 clang. Got to keep that factory rolling. You know, but what about the human spirit? And so the human spirit is, you know, bang, bang, clang, bang, 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 clang, bang. You know, that factory. That's that factory job. You know. And now they have the new factories, you know, and that's people, you know, doing all this or doing all this all day long. And after a while, you know, the human spirit can only handle it so long. The pusher man, it ain't no hope for him because pusher man, he wants cash because he's a part of the capitalistic journey also. You know, he's a part of it. You know, he's doing it a different way. And so he wants to stuff his pockets. And then, you know, here this person comes along and, hey, this will help you, you know, this will help you exist and cope. And so after a while, they spin off they spin off the assembly line. They spin off the capitalistic dream. They fall off and they wind up people's lives, you know, destroyed, tore up. And they wind up, you can run into them here in the Tenderloin, you know.
I don't know if it's ever going to change here. I mean, I hope that it does, and it does for the better, just to help people.
I remember last year they had like over 800 people, over 800 died from drug overdoses, most of it fentanyl, and most of them in the Tenderloin. And so if you can inspire a person, if you can get that person to tap into faith, tap into hope, then they can live and you know, and they can embrace and maybe see a colorful life for themselves. Now it's kind of scary because this is America and it's now become a horrible place.
San Francisco has taken on the crux of a lot of issues that's in America, like mental illness, drug abuse, and, you know, we get a bad name for taking care of our neighbors' relatives. You have to have an empathetic view when it comes to things like drug addiction. You have to love your moms and your dads and your sisters and your neighbors.
You know, it's so easy for someone to see someone of different circumstance and make fun or talk about them or to bully them when you really don't understand what they're going through.
Take a reflection of why all the people are out here in the first place. The truth is, I think that a lot of us have empathy towards those people, that we acknowledge that they're sick, that we acknowledge that they're not criminals, that we don't criminalize somebody for being addicted.
I would love to see the situation with the fentanyl crisis kind of get rectified. You know, and I'm not pro-drugs, but I'm not against drug addicts.
People out here, they're human beings. You know, regardless of what race or creed they are, they're our neighbors, they're our friends, they're our family. Even if their real friends and families don't take care of them, they have a home here.
We are a community of survivors. We are a community that has come or built back after earthquakes, fires, and always coming back stronger every time. The trans movement happened in the Tenderloin. The first protests happened here in the Tenderloin. LBG, well, there's too many letters. It's just people see what they choose to see. And just changing the perspective of understanding that the Tenderloin is a very powerful and creative community. And it's full of possibilities, opportunities, and a great deal of culture.
I think the Tenderloin has always been rich with culture. I think that the role of art is a new role. I mean, for the longest time, the role was, it was social justice and social awareness. When I first moved here, there wasn't much of an art community. So to innately be like involved with like the growing of it out here is still above my head.
There are so many artists in the Tenderloin. I am not the only one.
I paint, but I was born painting. I did my first actual painting public exhibition when I was like 5. I've painted my whole life. It's what I do.
It comes from my family because I come from an artistic family. And my mother supported me ever since I was 6 years old. I've been doing art since I was 6, writing since I was 9.
Actually, when Trump was in office, I had never made art before, and I was 50 when I started. I'm 56 now. And I didn't like the idea of him caging children, and I'll be frank, grabbing them by the pussy. And so what I did was I started making anti-Trump art. And I was street art predominantly. So I would make things, I put stickers out, or I put what they call wheat paste out. So it's been 6 years.
I like to make art for people who understand it. I think that everyday people should have access to art. It shouldn't always be thought-provoking. Sometimes they just want what is. I think there's a lot of deep artists out there already. And I think my deepness is how shallow sometimes it could be.
Through my art, I like to tell the story about resilience and communities, empowering communities, and uncover the hidden beauty that around us, especially in a rough and challenged place like in the Tenderloin. So the beauty is everywhere, so I want to capture that moment and then present to the public.
Because people know they know I do pieces about, musicians and the energy of people on stage. Did it, Catherine Campbell, she was a singer and one of the readers, and she turned, and me being probably black, she said, "Charles, you can't see it. People are crying." So, and that was the intent. That's the intention, it was designed to confront,
The main theme I'm trying to tell is the story about connection and unity, that we are all connected to ourselves, but also each other. And I hope in getting the viewers to realize that what actually caused them to be nicer, to show more compassion, more empathy, and more understanding to others, especially those who are much different than who we are.
Whatever we have is already good. It's just about if you spend time, spending time, look closer to things around it, you will probably see something beauty, and which is, I like to share this message to everybody.
This guy, he said, "Hey, can I ask you a question?" I said, "Yeah, go right ahead." I didn't think nothing. And he says, "Hey, when you lost your eyesight, did you lose your will to live?" And I was shocked. I didn't want to answer the question, really. I mean, that was like, hitting straight to the core, of me. But one thing, you deal with inmates, they be real with you. It's best to be real with them. And I told him the truth. I said, "Yeah, lost my will to live." He shook my hand. He said, "Hey," he said, "Brother, I'm glad you made that decision to live, because you really been an inspiration here today." And that, it's like he stamped a PhD on my forehead.
Art has a power to change people in a good way. So art also helps us to create our own voice and to be heard in the communities. And art also brings people together.
What I do, I try to reach the human spirit. If I can, encourage someone to live, if I can encourage somebody to, discover their talent, if I can encourage somebody to, just, drop the BS, forget, you're wasting your time. If you're chasing capitalism, you got to turn that thing around. People, you got to learn to study. How do you turn this around and make, I mean, you can make capitalism chase you, and when you meet up with it and And if you, in case you shake hands, you know, don't be a fool. You know, don't fall sucker for the glitter, because this is where they wind up. You know. Anyway.
I tend to want to make art for people who usually don't have art made for them, like punks or goths or, you know, poor people or, you know, people who understand the sociological struggles of being poor. It's not like it's just for poor people, it's for anybody, but I want my art to be fun.
I think I just make shit. That's what I do. I just make shit. But people like it. You know, my goal is to go into apparel, and I think that art can move people. It can motivate people. It can change an opinion.
Somebody come in, I was at the art space one day, and this lady came in off the street, African American, and she walked up to me. I'm at the table working on a piece, and it was like an Afrocentric piece of a mask, an African mask. And she said, "Brother, I really like your art. It really inspires me." Man, that's a powerful compliment, you know, I mean, she came in off the street, and I don't, maybe she saw my work before, you know. And so something like that it's remarkable. I realized that there's some people here, it's almost like God at work. There's some people that have been planted here in the Tenderloin with a simple concern. And that's all you need, is a small concern. And you can do, because you can do a lot with a simple concern. If you're dedicated, this is America, you're gonna get bought off. And so people that are turning corners and mingling with people, trying to get them connected, food, shelter, clothing, trying to give them some hope, trying to get them turned on to mental health, you know. And then you hear stories about people, they managed to, you know, make a change.
Don't count us out, because we always come back, no matter what.
We're not done yet.